with the very latest updates and his thoughts on Afghanistan. Louisiana Senator John Kennedy. Senator Kennedy, I love our friends in your state of Louisiana. Our thoughts and prayers are with them. I know people just had their lives upended, and then we have looting to deal with on top of it in the middle of rescue recovery.
Well, Sean, we took it full in the face, except for New Orleans, where the levees held. Thank the Lord. This was worse than Katrina. The wind, the rain, the storm surge. It was kind of like being in a blender for 12 hours. The destruction is breathtaking. But there's always something to be thankful for, and we're thankful that the loss of life was minimal. We'll be back. My people are tough as a boot. I know one or two Louisianians who once died, but they got up and walked it off. We'll be back. But I'm not going to bubble wrap it. This one's bad.
Well, I know one thing about the people of this great country. They rise to the occasion. They'll be helping our friends in Louisiana. I know Samaritan's Purse, the Red Cross, so many others are doing some magnificent work to help people. Senator, yes. We left Americans behind. You heard Mark Levin. I don't know if you heard my opening monologue. I'd like your thoughts.
The last soldier left Afghanistan on August 30. It was an ignominious day. Whether you think we should have been in Afghanistan or not, the withdrawal was a circus parade of bad decisions. Some of my colleagues in Washington are trying to spin it otherwise, Sean, but this one's unspinnable. You can put perfume on a pig, but it still stinks. The 13 service men and women who lost their lives in the withdrawal were and are lions. If nothing else, they're the reason you ought to stand up for the national anthem. Now, we're out, but it's not over. We left Americans behind. We don't know how many. That's unconscionable, and we got to get them out. And the message that the Biden administration needs to be sending to the Taliban today is this: until we get all our people out, if you, the Taliban, hurt a hair on their head, we will chase the killers down like a hound from hell, and we will kill you and hurt you the entire time you are dying. Period. End of discussion. We also need to get our Afghan friends out. We left many of them behind. It's unconscionable. I hope I'm wrong, but the Taliban is going to gut them like a fish. This is not a good day for America.
President's called this an extraordinary success. He said it was the right decision, a wise decision, the best decision, unparalleled results. He said a magnificent display of public policy, the biggest airlift ever, 120,000 people brought to safety. When we break down those numbers, he breaks them down. Only 5,500 were American. Now, 2 weeks ago, he was saying we had anywhere between 10 and 15,000 Americans that were behind enemy lines. Tonight, they're behind enemy lines with no lifeline. There's no military. There's no diplomatic presence. And Joe Biden claims, for some bizarre reason, that we have all the leverage. I would argue, Senator, we don't have any leverage. The Taliban has the leverage, and if ISIS gets a hold of our fellow Americans, they will have the leverage. And I would bet that we now know they're going house to house. And Joe Biden has signed the death certificates of all of our Afghan allies and leaving the database behind so they'll be able to identify them. They will die, Senator.
Yeah. Well, we had leverage, Sean. We did give it up. That's just a fact, and any fair-minded person,
We had leverage.
I think, understands that. But there's an old expression: you can't talk yourself out of something you behaved yourself into. And the administration behaved itself into this. It ought to just say, look, we screwed up here, but by God, we're not leaving anybody behind. That includes Americans, and that includes the Afghans who supported us through the years. And the president needs to follow through, if not for his own credibility, but for America's credibility throughout the world. For the first time in a long time, our allies have started to doubt us, and that makes the world a more dangerous place.
By far. Senator, our prayers are with your great state and people in New Orleans and elsewhere, and we'll be there for them. That's one thing I believe in the American people.